or good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. This is our mass adoption training that takes place Monday through Friday, when exactly 4 p.m. West African time. You are just joining us for the very first time. You are highly welcome. This training takes place Monday through Friday. There is a keyword that will be given to you, and you can use the keyword to earn. You can use the keyword to earn, so you get paid to attend this training. We are here with someone who is very special to us, and he has been training us for more than a year now. We have been hearing his voice, and of course, guys, do not bring any technical problems to him, because he's not going to help you, all right? If you have a technical problems, take it to the 𝐶𝐻 back office. We have members there helping you 24/7. They will be able to solve any technical problems that you may have. That being said, let's take this time to welcome the dear admin of TBC. Greetings to you, admin, and welcome.
Thank you for that welcome, 𝐷, and greetings to all of you joining our mass adoption training today from all over the world. We appreciate your attendance. Hey, 𝐷, I've got some good news and I got some bad news. But before we get into that, we have some business to take care of first. I'd like to introduce you all to our newest member of the $1,000 a week club. If we could have our friend here, 𝐷, he could go ahead and raise his hand. See as we can unmute him. He is our newest member of the $1,000 a week club. You could raise your hand and unmute, so we can introduce you to everyone. Hopefully he's here.
Raise your hand, 𝐷. He's not here yet.
Okay, so anybody who knows 𝐷, please get his attention. He should have been here early. All right, moving on to the next item of business. I believe we have a food subsidy committee to ratify. So those that have come here to do that, please raise your hand. Okay, we got one hand, two hands. Okay, why don't we call upon Miss Positivity?
Miss Positivity.
Hi.
All right.
Good evening, admin. Good evening, fellow leaders in our community.
Good evening.
Tonight, we're going to present ourselves. There are 7 of us. I'm waiting for the others to join us. We have her, Mom Red Hunter, Ivy. I think Ivy is also here.
Raise your hand, Ivy.
Raise your hand. Ace, Rose Milares, Sir Noli Rabel, Halima Narawi.
And if you could also turn your videos on so we can take a look at you. Okay.
Ma'am Halima Narawi, Sir Noli.
There's 4 of you so far. Where's the other 3? I'd like to have all 7 of you here.
Yes.
Raise your hand and turn your video on, guys. TikTok, TikTok.
Hey.
Sir Noli.
Noli, are you here?
Sir Noli and Coach Roslyn Millares. And also Ma'am Halima. Ma'am Halima.
And Halima. Okay, please raise your hand and Turn your video on. If you don't raise your hand, you don't end up on the front page, and we can't find you.
Yeah, please raise
9 pages here. Come on, guys. Halima, Coach Rose, Noli, where are you?
Sir Noli just finished the meeting.
Okay, you kind of ran a little long there.
Yeah, okay, should be in a week limit.
Coach Rose, are you here now? Please raise your hand.
Yeah, Ivy, maybe you could reach out to Noli and say that we're waiting on him.
Okay, I also
Coach
reached out to Coach Rose.
Yeah,
And I also Halima.
Come on, we gotta be more coordinated than this, guys. Everything runs on a clock. All right, keep your hands up. We'll come back to you guys. Okay, I'll just move forward with my agenda. You guys just stay on video and keep your hand up and encourage the other 3 to do the same, and we'll look out for them. All right, actually, before I get into the good news and bad news, let me just go ahead and share the key word today. The key word today is assembly. And the way you use the keyword, you go into your back office from the dashboard. You go into meetings, mass adoption training. You'll see a box, put the keyword in the box, click on submit. It should come back green saying a match, and it means you just got paid for coming to our training. And then to collect your rewards that you've been paid, all you got to do is click on rewards and then click on your Kringle rewards, and that'll trigger the software to move the coins that you have earned in rewards over to your wallet. And I highly recommend that you do that every single day. Okay. All right, so that's our keyword today. Did we lose one of the hands? Where did Ivy go? There's Coach Rose.
Coach Rose is here.
Okay, so keep your hand up, Ivy. Okay, Coach Rose, you can turn your video on, please. We're just missing Halima and Noli.
No.
All right, so put the word out to them, guys, while we're waiting. I'm just gonna continue. So anybody, I'm sure when it comes to good news and bad news, they're probably interested or anxious to hear the bad news first. But I'm not gonna share the bad news first because I want to share the good news first. The good news, guys, and this is amazing, great. I mean, it's really good news, and that is that the genocidemic is officially over.
Boom.
For the entire world. So we're going to go over the documentation of that today. But the bad news is that just like when you declare that a war is over, a lot of the troops on the ground haven't got the message yet. They're still thinking they're in the middle of a war. So there's continued efforts from those that have been pushing the genocidemic forward. They will continue to do what they're doing because they don't realize that it's already over. But they're going to find out. And it really comes down to the people organizing as quickly as possible to help get that message to those that want to keep this genocidemic going. The people need to let them know it's over. Okay, so I'll share the documentation. You'll see what I'm talking about. But, the problem with the world today is that almost nobody in the entire world understands how the world works. Everybody's under an illusion or delusion or, they think they understand how things are. but they really don't. They really don't know how things are. And so a lot of people think that these corporate things we call government, that they actually have power and authority, but they already lost their power and authority. That was already declared. So all governments in the world, all the corporate, you understand that the United States, for example, is a corporation. Just like McDonald's, where you can buy hamburgers, is a corporation. So is the United States. It's a corporation. And so is Nigeria. So is the Philippines. And so is Cameroon. And so is every country in the world. They're just corporations. That's the structure that they were formed. But they're also formed with certain agreements in place. And all of the agreements have expired worldwide. And they no longer have real authority. Okay. And so people will need to start to understand that there's been a shift in the authority back to the people. And this is something that will be a huge revelation when people come to understand the meaning of that. They're going to have a hard time believing it at first, but little by little, when they start seeing evidence, they're going to come to come to terms that the authority has been vested back to the people. Okay, the authority in this world goes back to each of you as individuals. That you are to self-govern, and you are to operate your life in a way that does no harm to others or to anything. Okay, so that's one of the reasons we're putting these assemblies together, is so that it's an organized effort to establish a proper structure so that things can be funded for society. Society operates on funding and cannot really move forward without it. So there has to be a structure that is funded, and none of these corporations are getting funding from the main source of funding. So they've all been cut off from the main source of funding, and it's been a time now that they've been cut off, but they've been operating on outside funds. But they're running out. They're running out of those outside funds. They're not going to be able to keep the illusion going much longer. Okay. So it's up for the people to gather, unite, and to share information so that everybody can get caught up to speed. So let me share a document. So I think you understand the bad news. The bad news is that there's a great work ahead of the people here to do their part on recognizing the structure of the world for as it is today, not as we thought it was. Okay. So let me share my screen and come to the documentation that I'm basing the